That's absolutely understandable, especially in your role and what you're dealing with at the time. I do want to ask, though, as it rounds out to October 2019, we hear, of course, AEW is going to have a TV deal, and
Yep.
your product, the one that your friend that you've known for so many years has worked so hard to develop, and the one that you're so invested in, is now changing in the sense that it's going to USA Network. And it is obvious to all of us watching, it is going as counter programming to AEW because they have those similar kind of work rate, kind of wrestling. I don't know what to call it. I hate using that word because, that's not a word you guys use inside the business. But it seems to me that as much as AEW or as much as NXT went between this world of developmental and third brand, when you guys moved to USA, things changed. How did it change for you, and what were your thoughts?
Okay, this is where I am going to probably offend a lot of the people who I work with now. Again, I don't get involved in all the ins and outs and whatever. I was glad there was another company. My initial thought was, hang on, when I heard this counter programming stuff, again, there's a lot of things that when I initially hear them, I ever thought on, and then it changes over time, or I know more about it. But because I was just paying attention to what I needed to pay attention to, my initial thought was, hang on, Wednesday at 8 o'clock is our spot. Doesn't matter what platform we're on. Mm-hmm. Wednesday at 8 o'clock was NXT, which had been NXT from whatever amount of time on the network. So that was my initial thought. And everything after that was just, okay, right, let's just try and make this show as good as possible.
So you saw it more, you honestly see it more as a reaction to AEW.
No, I don't honestly, I don't honestly see anything differently than that. With that, I'm telling you my initial thought.
Right.
When I heard about this counter programming stuff and stuff, and that was going on, but again, I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to have enough to get through my job. Right. And so all I know is now we've got to somehow a show that is, and again, this is something that you've got. I don't think people seem to have blotted out what NXT was, and I'm talking about the company that I used to work for. So if people want to take offense to that, with the people that I work for now, we built that show up off a 1 hour show on the network.
On Hulu first. On Hulu.
Well, on Hulu.
Yeah,
on
like
Hulu, and then
time.
the network. On the network. And we were selling out arenas for takeovers from a show on the network. And with a small group of people. When I came back in 2019, all of a sudden there was an extra huge amount of people at NXT that weren't there that I could remember, because the year before I was going through all these different things, and I was, whatever, out with brain injuries and health issues. Then there was this content lab, and there's all these extra people, and then there's more talent there, and there's more everything there. But see, that's things start going a bit wonky from 2018 with my memory, because the next 2 years were very, very different for me.
Stay alive.
But yeah, we were doing arenas and that was another thing on the same topic. To say how what AEW has done is like you talked about that initial All In, and is that the initial pay-per-view again?
All In was before AEW was officially announced, but it did set the template.
Yes, right. So All In was the right.
Yeah.